What's going on, everyone? It's Coffee back with another one. We got some hip hop news, some boxing news, some very interesting stories to go over right here, man. It's definitely going to be a hot debate, so make sure you join that debate discussion and get up in them comments, man. But getting off into the hip hop news first, I'd say one of the biggest hip hop rivalries, beefs, it's pieced up now. They're cool and everything. We seen them recently collaborate with DJ Khaled. We're talking about Jay-Z versus Nas. Now, before we jump off into this news stories right here, just hit the comments first up off the rip and let it be known who got that one to you. Was it Jay-Z or Nas? We know the ongoing hip-hop debate forever, Takeover, Ether. There were other tracks involved and everything, and we know it spilled out into, roc-a-fella affiliates, other individuals associated with Nas. The beef branched out. But y'all know it was all about that Jay-Z versus Nas. But who you got? Drop in the comments your thoughts on that. But peep what's going on now, man. Jay-Z's right-hand man, a rapper who I actually liked. I've seen a lot of people say they felt he was trash or he's come up on the worst rapper list. I don't know. I really liked his music, although it kind of felt like music was secondary to him, I guess, or like as we see now, he's involved in a lot of business and a lot of stuff going on with Douce and other liquor brands, and he even has some artists too, Casanova 2 times, Hold Your Head Casanova, fighting that case, or I believe he might have just took a plea, I don't know, but we're talking about Memphis Bleek. Like, I really thought Bleek was dope. I ain't saying he's one of the dopest rappers ever, but Bleek had some bangers. I felt like those first couple albums were nice. They had some hits on there. Let me know what y'all thought about Bleek. But it's hitting in the headlines that Bleek was commenting about if there was a Jay-Z versus Nas versus, that Nas's catalog couldn't hold up to Jay-Z's at all. He said no disrespect, but it's just not there. Like, Nas doesn't have the music to go at Jay-Z in a versus. And listen, like I said, I respect Bleek. I respect Jay. I respect all these artists. But come on, Bleek. Like, he's tripping in my opinion. I mean, Nas has so many bangers, so many classic albums, and we even saw him win it. Not that a Grammy is everything or really means anything, but that was just a dope moment in my opinion to see him get that, Grammy. And we know he just dropped that King's Disease 2, which is fire. But he's saying no disrespect to Nas. His catalog can't touch Jay-Z. It's just not there. And that Jay-Z's B-sides will just eat up a lot of these artists' A-sides, their biggest hits ever. And I mean, we know Bleek is a loyal dude. He's always been loyal to Jay-Z, but I think he's just kind of tripping, repping for his homie in this situation. You know what I mean? His right-hand man. Like, y'all let me know what you guys think about that, if you think he's tripping or not. But he also went on to say the only catalog that could go against Jay-Z, even be put in the ring in that versus platform against Jay-Z, would be B.I.G. And he went on to talk about like how amped Jay-Z was when he went and recorded, because we know Jay, like, remember when Jadakiss was dissing 50 Cent and he said, I made real songs with Biggs, no made up shits. He Jay-Z was really in the booth with Biggie. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot of respect for him. Obviously, they both were from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. They had some dope collaborations and everything. And, Jay-Z was always bigging up Biggie Smalls. I definitely would say he looked up to him. And, Big definitely wanted to see Jay-Z succeed. You know what I'm saying? If he was here today, I'm sure he would be immensely proud of what Jay-Z has done, as we've, brought up on this channel numerous times. Whether you're a fan of Jay-Z these days, what he is today or not, or you don't like some of the things he does, you can't dispute the fact that he has transcended hip-hop into, the business world, brushing shoulders with some of the biggest shakers and movers on the planet. And like I said, a lot of people might not agree with everything Jay-Z's involved in or does, which I think he does a lot of good. But you can't dispute the fact that it's amazing what he's become from a rapper to what he is. He's transcended any, like anything we've ever seen in hip hop before. But Bleek was just saying, when him and they went to go, Jay-Z went to go record Brooklyn's Finest with with Big, or just work with him in general. He was so excited, and he really wanted to be on his best game. Like, it meant everything for him to go lay down some tracks with Biggie. It's funny too, you remember when the beef was ongoing, the Jay-Z versus Nas beef. What did Nas say? How many rhymes, Big's rhymes is gonna come out your lips? Accusing him of biting Biggie, I guess, as well as when he was beefing with Cameron. Remember, I'm not a writer, I'm a biter, or whatever. He broke it down. It was almost like a blog before a blog. Back on, it was on the mixtapes, or I believe that was even on no, it had to been on mixtapes though, where he was playing parts from Jay-Z and Biggie's verse, and it's just like, damn, man, you stay biting the big homie or whatever. But like I said, I guess that's old news. We could say Jay-Z and Nas have been cool for quite some time, but we hear, whispers of that the rivalry still lives on, and I'm sure it does. They're very competitive guys. We know Nas is doing a lot in the business world as well, but hit the comments, guys. Let me know what you think about this. Like I said, who won the beef, your thoughts on the beef, your thoughts of Bleek, your thoughts of what was being said about Jay-Z and Biggie here, and do you think Bleek was just talking a good game for Jay, because that's what he does, because he's loyal, or do you think he really believes this, or what? Tap in the comments with your thoughts on it all. And then we got to segue over into this boxing news, man. So people, y'all, check out what's going on here. I guess, with Triller, which has put on some great shows, where we saw Jake Paul previously fight other athletes and stuff like that, but we also saw Tyson fight under the Triller banner against Roy Jones Jr. Was the main event on the one card, and now we're seeing Evander Holyfield step in and fight Vitor Belfort, who I believe is a MMA UFC fighter. They got a fight coming up, and I guess originally it was supposed to be Oscar De La Hoya getting in the ring, but he came down with that dang, you know what I'm saying? So he can't fight, but Holyfield's stepping in. And this is kind of a wild story to me, because it really makes me wonder, is this just some hype that's being thrown out there, or is this in fact real? Because what's going on is they're saying that the Triller boss, the boss of Triller, Ryan Kavanaugh, there's sources reporting that he said Mike Tyson is afraid to get back in the ring for that part 3 of that trilogy against Evander Holyfield, for fear that Holyfield will knock him the fuck out. As we know, back in their heyday, in their primes, Tyson couldn't beat Holyfield. Holyfield had his number. You know what I'm saying? He upset him and took the belt for him, beat him. Fight was stopped in the 11th round. That's considered, I believe, a technical knockout, a TKO. And then obviously the rematch where Tyson got disqualified, bit Holyfield's ear off. I mean, they've pieced it up and they've sat down together and had conversations, and they're cool now. But I'm sure, there's still a rivalry that lives on as well there, like we were just talking about Jay-Z and Nas. When there's such a heated rivalry going on to the point where there's a beef and you piece it up, I'm sure even down the road that energy's still out there, where they want to compete against each other. And that's what I'm saying, that these sources are saying the Triller boss, Ryan Kavanaugh, just flat out said, yo, Tyson's afraid. He don't want that smoke, because Holyfield has been lobbying for a fight against Tyson. And, there's been a lot of talk that the fans want to see it. It would be dope. Part 3 all these years later. But reportedly, Iron Mike is shook. And I want to know what you guys think. Is this just some hype that they're throwing out there in the press to try to bait Mike Tyson to come in for this fight? Which, would that even work nowadays? Because we know Mike Tyson is in a different place. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure back in the day that would have worked easy. You know what I mean? Talk some shit about Tyson. He's going to start talking shit. And next thing you know, boom, the fight set up. We know Mike was a hot-headed individual. But nowadays, you know what I'm saying? He's doing his podcast. He's tripping off DMT, licking the toad and all that, smoking a lot of bud. And did y'all notice on his podcast, they replaced that Evan Britton dude that used to do it with him? I thought he was not good on the mic anyways, but that's just an observation. They replaced that man, but I don't know. You know, I don't know that this would work to bait Tyson in, if that is indeed what is going on. Like, do y'all think that this could just be true, that you know, this guy really says this and means this, that Tyson doesn't, you know, still fears Holyfield? Jump in the comments and let me know. You know what I mean? That would be definitely amazing for the fans in the sport of boxing. Obviously, even though these guys are beyond their prime, you see the footage of Tyson working out. Still seems like he comes with a lot of intensity. He's in good shape. He looked pretty good during that fight with Roy Jones Jr., but this was just crazy to me. Like, this just feels like a media ploy or some propaganda, but who knows? It could be true. So tap in, hit the comments with your thoughts on that as well. You know, Holyfield versus Vitor, Belfort. I gotta say, I think Holyfield is gonna handle that fight easily. And you know, as we said, he's stepping in to fight for Oscar De La Hoya, who came down with that health crisis sickness and can't fight. But you know, reportedly he wants that Tyson fight, and word is Tyson is shook. Comment with your thoughts on that, as well as their original fights. Let's discuss it all below, as well as the Jay-Z, Nas, Memphis Bleek stuff. And subscribe to the channel. This is Jay Coffee Talk, where we talk music, news, sports, a lot of NFL content coming, guys. As we know, the season kicks off tomorrow night officially, so stay tuned. Stay in tune with the channel. Make sure to call into the live streams and chop it up with me, you know, about all these different debates and whatnot. Subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.